everybody. Welcome to the Sicilian Corner podcast. My name is Mike. Behind the booth, Lou. He's pushing all the buttons. Lou, how you doing this morning?
Just pushing buttons. That's all I do.
That's it?
Just push buttons.
Yeah. You do a lot more than that, let me tell you.
Yep.
You do a lot more than that. And you know this gentleman sitting next to me over here?
Tom, yeah, long time.
Tom Spitalere. How are you?
I'm well. How you doing, Mike?
You know, I appreciate you taking the time out. This is the busiest time of the year for you.
Every day is busy.
I knew you had a busy schedule because when I parked my car this morning, I'm walking to get into the building. There's a helicopter over the roof. And they threw one of those, what was that, like a little ladder that they tossed out, and you're coming down the ladder? I says, wow. I says, he really is tight for time. Now, are they coming back to pick you up?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, cool. 12 o'clock. That'll be a lot of fun.
Well, it's silly season for ghost people.
Yeah, really.
Well, ghosts happen year round, but this time of year has been extremely busy. This is when nonprofits do their paranormal fundraising, and we've done a lot of paranormal fundraising for nonprofits throughout southern New Hampshire and Essex County and Middlesex County.
Hey, you're in Middlesex too?
Yeah. A quick story about that one. So I went to Methuen schools. I went to the house school as a kid. I could always felt there were spirits there. And then my friend Joni from Havel, she belongs to Bill Ricker Public Access TV, asked me to come on 3 months ago on her TV show, okay, to talk about paranormal. She does metaphysical stuff. I'm like, wow, this place is pretty cool. The building there in Bill Ricker.
Yeah.
It's an old school. I didn't notice the name of it right away. And I said, you know what? We could do a fundraiser. So I did a fundraiser recently. We sold that out. I looked at the name of the school. It's called the Howe School. It's the same Howe family from this area that out there.
Wow.
No kidding.
So life went full circle for me. I started it in kindergarten at the Howe School, and now I'm doing fundraising at the Howe School and the old Howe School in Bill Ricker. It was pretty cool.
Fundraising is a difficult job. I think,
No, it's a fun job.
like I said, fundraising is a difficult job.
Mikey's damn good at it, though.
I mean, sometimes you're on a lead and you really think you've got this person sewed up, and it surprises you. There's absolutely nothing happens.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to accept no for an answer, you know, and you have to be cordial, you know, shake their hands. But I went, as you know, I'm a member of the Sandalfio Society, and I was after Polar Beverage. For 5 years, I drove up to Worcester. 5 years, I had an appointment, and 5 years, I walked out empty, which was shocking to me.
Which got under your skin, right?
Yeah, it really pissed me off. So now when I'm driving with Barbara, we're going down to Foxwoods. Every time I go by there, she says, here's your favorite building, she says, because she knows the story. And 5 years in a row, they refused me. Instead of just telling me up front they're not interested, no, I'd take the ride. I would go through the trouble, do a PowerPoint presentation. Nandy. The other thing was one day I had an appointment at Hood's in Charlestown.
Yep.
And I was going to meet with a couple of the VPs. I told them what I was doing, and they seemed interested. When I walked into that room, I knew I was dead meat. I didn't even have to open my mouth, but I was there. I had to go through the presentation anyway. And of course, I didn't get anything from them. I kind of expected it. The minute I walked into that, I felt it. The room got cold, you know, like there was a paranormal, and you know what I'm saying?
It was a fundraising ghost.
You know, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Took your money.
So, but I made it work. I called up our friend Angelo Picardi.
Oh, yeah.
And as you know, his wife's family owned the Union Oyster House. I says, look, I'm right outside of Boston. Why don't we get together for lunch? Yeah, come over to Union Oyster House. Hey, it's a mooch meal. Why not take advantage of it, right? What a gentleman he was. I love that man. He just turned 92. God bless him.
God bless him, yeah.
And he's still got his hair.
So he's 29. That's young.
Hey, listen, how many different hats do you wear? I mean, you're the founder.
I'm the founder of Essex County Ghost Project.
Okay, so what does that involve?
Let's see. That includes that my days start at 6 and go till 1. Oh, wait a minute. My day's almost. Oh, wait a minute. No, I still got another 14 hours left. Whoops, not yet. So that includes I have a 24-hour turnaround policy. So you call me, I'm at your house within 24 hours to help you out.
So this is someone who suspects
they got
that
paranormal activity in their house.
there's
yeah.
paranormal activity.
You call me, I'm there within 24 hours.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You got
So-
that quick of a turnaround.
Yeah. I mean, I may not bring the whole team. It might just be me just to go talk to you and see
Okay,
what's going
so
on.
it's not just you. How
Right.
many people belong to?
I have it anywhere. My team members go anywhere from 5 to 12 at times. 12 members. 5
Really?
to 12 members. And just started now. I just started with my buddy Bob, a UFO arm of Essex County Ghost. We've had a cryptozoology arm, which studies anything
What is
cryptid.
it?
Cryptozoology, which is the study of Bigfoot, Birdman, stuff like that. So I do everything in the paranormal. I'm just not a ghost hunter.
How the interest in the field that you've decided to specialize in, where did all that come from?
Oh, where did it all come from?
How
Ever
did it
since
start?
I-
How did it start?
ever
When
since
you were
I-
a little kid?
Yeah, ever since I was a kid, I knew there was something out there. I knew there were weird things going on. Odd things happen to you. You think nothing about it. You're a kid. Then as you get older and you start educating yourself and seeing things, probably the biggest break for me was this guy named Robert Stack.
From
Unsolved
the
Mysteries.
Untouchables?
No, Unsolved Mysteries.
Robert Stack from the Untouchables. I remember
Same
him.
guy.
Same
yeah,
guy.
yeah. He did the show Unsolved Mysteries, and I got hooked on it.
Okay.
And it did
And it just
disappearances, UFO, and everything.
And
like
it
that.
grew from there.
And it grew from there. Then I got involved with the guy who's well known at this station, good
Ron?
friend of mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ron Kolek.
Yep.
And then in 07, I decided it was time to go out on my own. And in 07, I went out on my own. 08, I started a TV show in Haverhill. I've had it since then on public access. And I keep going. And every year I grow. And around the same time, I took over Hilldale Cemetery as the board president.
Yeah.
So and with 60 plus nonprofits in Haverhill, I didn't want to take grant money from them. So I did something unique, ghost hunting fundraising. That doesn't steal any, or not steal, but it gives more money back to the community
Right.
because I do it at night. So if you come at night, you want to eat first, you go downtown and eat. So I actually help out the local economy. And by raising money, we got one this weekend at 7:00. It starts at Hilldale Cemetery.
Tom,
last ghost
this
hunt of the
this
year.
is off topic, but I do want to say thank you on behalf of the 167 members of the Sandalfio Society for dedicating the Labor Day weekend to be at the feast every single day and filming.
No problem.
Now, do you edit that film too?
Yeah, we're still editing. It takes a while.
I was going to say.
Well, we filmed all the beginning to the end on Friday. Saturday we were there from 2 till 11,
I know.
and Sunday was 6:30, 7:00 because we did the church service all the way till the end. So,
Yeah.
and I'm also the board president of LCAT,
Now,
Lawrence
LCAT, tell
Community
our
Access
listeners
TV.
what LCAT.
Lawrence Community Access TV.
Okay.
I'm the board president and the interim executive director.
Wow.
And in the spare time, what do you do?
And then in the spare
How many
time,
business cards do you have?
I'm also a member of the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce, the largest chamber in New England or the world.
Tell the people about the Celtics.
And they're members of the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Imagine that. Not the Boston Chamber,
No,
the Lawrence Chamber.
Right.
Joe Bevilacqua, Mike Sullivan, weaving their magic.
Yep.
Yes.
Weaving
They do
their
a great
magic.
job. And also, they also have something called ambassadors. And I'm an ambassador. I'm also the lead ambassador for the chamber. So
That
we go
means-
promote the chamber.
That
We
means
bring-
Bezos could be a member of the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
Not too long for now. They have
Well-
Amazon.com in there.
Is that right?
So that's some of the hats I wear.
All right.
Oh, and I'm also the vice president of the French.
Hey,
Lawn
all right
State Park.
already. I get the drift. All right.
I stay busy.
You mentioned Hilldale
Yes.
Cemetery. You're also quoted as saying that that's one of the more haunted areas in the city of Haverhill.
In New
Why?
England.
In the what? New
In
England?
New England.
In New England.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, when I first took Hilldale over, that was people's playground at night. So I was going in there at night, stopping the playground.
So
So
you
what
had
I mean-
you had people making love in the cemetery?
Yeah, you could say that. We had dirt bikes running through there, and we also had drugs running through there.
Yep.
Because behind us is the train tracks that go from Boston to Maine.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. Yeah.
So, that's the so I stopped the drugs from coming down because they were coming in from Maine, and I was working in Exeter at the time, told the Exeter police chief, and all of a sudden the drugs stopped coming through the cemetery. So thank you, Exeter, for that one. And then I just started hanging out there every night, occasionally fall asleep. Then I get knocks on my window. The first time it happened, I thought it was
you would fall asleep at the cemetery?
Yeah. Well, I'm there at midnight patrolling, and I sit in my car and I fall asleep.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah. And then one night I get a knock on the window. I thought it was my cousin, who was then now a retired Havel police officer. It wasn't. It was two shadow figures waving at me.
Oh, God.
Didn't scare me at all.
No.
Because I had the paranormal at the time, so
not.
it didn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
I said, wow, maybe this could be something that could work out. And then a week later, I finally made the decision to start because I heard some noise in the back of the cemetery, so I went to investigate. There were these kids with dirt
And you're
bikes.
by yourself?
Yeah.
Are you packing?
No. There were kids with dirt bikes because I believe in a higher power. There were kids with dirt bikes in there, and I yelled at them, and one of them decided to come after me. So I went running to my car. Now I'm in the back corner of the cemetery, so I had some running to do. But it was all wooded, and I knew the cemetery better than anybody because I'm cleaning it too.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, this tree limb went flying like someone pulled it back and flung it out and hit the kid with the dirt bike off the dirt bike.
No way.
Yeah. I got to my car, got my phone because I was going for my phone. I left my car, the phone in the car. I was calling the police.
No, that's good to do like around midnight in the cemetery. Leave your phone in the car because it makes sense
What
to
could
me.
you need that for? Yeah.
What possibly could go wrong?
Right.
So the cops came down and they got the kid out. And I said, you know what? That didn't happen. The father tried to say we rigged a trap down there, and there was they couldn't find any cut ropes or anything. The cops looked. One of the cops goes, I wonder if this place has got spirits. I said, I wonder too. And that's when I started the ghost hunt.
So that's how it all began with Hilldale.
Yeah, with the ghost hunts. Yeah. What started me on the Hilldale track was I was then chairman of the city's historical commission, which is the government appointed board in Haverhill. And the Essex National Heritage, which I've been working for years at, doing nonprofit fundraising and events for them through other organizations, came up with this plan that would, for each city and town, one to document their cemeteries and clean them. One in Haverhill was to a tree ordinance, a shade tree ordinance, which I tried to get, and a demolition delay ordinance. So the only thing I got to do was clean the cemeteries and save a few of the cemeteries.
Yeah. Wow.
Because the elected officials wanted nothing to do with shade trees or demolition delay because it would, quote, slow progress.
Yeah.
When you were a kid, were you into Halloween? And I
was at Christmas and Halloween, but my two favorite holidays, and I don't know if I could say this. One I know I could say. My top three favorite holidays. One is Election Day. I believe that day everybody should be out of work.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
What?
Election Day?
Election Day.
Yeah.
I believe everybody should be out of work in this country.
How come you don't volunteer at the polls?
I usually do holding signs for candidates. And I'm not here to endorse anybody politically. I'm just saying this, generally speaking. This country needs to put out 60% on the elections. We don't even do that. We're lucky to hit 10% at a local election, 12%.
Yeah.
12% of the people are telling everybody what's going on. That's sad.
You know
So,
something?
Election Day-
I'll tell you what I think is sad. That we're reduced to two people for the highest office in this country after all the people that are so bright that we have in the United States. We're down to these two that we have to choose from.
Most countries
That saddens me.
Most countries have 12 and 13 candidates to choose from.
Why don't you run?
But that wouldn't work.
That would
I'm
work.
having too much fun.
You don't want to do that because then you get a guy elected or a woman elected who has 20% of the vote. So you're still having 20% of the country run the country.
Yeah.
I'm so Election Day.
We're in. I don't want to get into the political.
Followed by Christmas.
Okay.
And then Halloween.
Oh, Halloween is further down.
Yeah. Now Halloween's tied with Christmas.
Oh, it's a dead heat.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. I like it. Maybe next year it'll be a three-peat. You know, you might have 3 in there. You know, to spend $12 billion last year, that's what was spent for Halloween costumes,
Yes.
candy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Billion would it be?
Yeah.
12 billion.
Yep.
I as a kid
Well, they
growing
start
up,
in
I
August, so
I
can
couldn't
s-
I didn't get into Halloween when I was a youngster. I just think
No.
it
Oh.
made no
I
it just
did.
didn't make sense.
I did. I remember going in grade school. My mother would make our costumes. One year I went as a grapes. One year I went as a pumpkin.
Of
Pretty
course
cool.
you did.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I always liked Halloween. And then one year I went as Secret Service band, trick or treating.
All right. Nice.
All right. Hey, listen, I'm up against the break, but when we
Yeah.
come back, I want your opinion of some of the movies that have been made.
Okay.
One I'd like to talk about is Ghostbusters with Murray and
Yeah.
Aykroyd.
Okay.
I want to know if there were some things in there that are accurate or is just for comedy.
Okay. we
All
can
right.
do
So
that.
we're going to take a quick break. Stay with us. But before we go, Louis, Andy Parisi. Andy wasn't with us last week, but he's back and he's saying hello. And Barbara Cody, my significant other, she's on board. Nancy DeMarco, one of our steady listeners, she's on board. And she was saying she likes when she used to make her own costumes, or her mother probably would make them for her. But, you know, I just, as a kid, I just didn't understand it. And I still don't understand it. So you have to enlighten me. I
will.
want to get into it like you do.
Okay.
Louis, why don't you take us out to break?
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
When you dine at Ristorante Melisse in Amesbury, Massachusetts, you feel at home while enjoying an authentic Italian dining experience not to be forgotten. From the appetizer to dessert, you won't regret your choice. Bring your cravings and appetites. They promise you won't leave hungry or without leftovers for the next day. Takeout and catering are also available. Give them a call or visit them online for the menu, online ordering, and reservations. RistoranteMelisse.com. That's RistoranteMolise.com. Or call 978-388-4844. Ristorante Melisse, where you're treated like family. Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas, with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy.
And Mike Kunstler,
Owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
he is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
And we are back, and it's all about Halloween. It's about ghosts, goblins, pumpkins. I mentioned Ghostbusters, the movie. Bill Murray,
Yes.
Dan Aykroyd. You remember that movie?
Love that.
It was pretty. Yeah, I do too.
I do too.
I do too. Do you?
But there's some fact and some fiction. First of all, let's talk about Dr. Peter Venkman.
Okay.
There was a psychologist who wrote a book on the paranormal named Dr. Peter Venkman. So
Why not?
that's actually based on a book, loosely based, because obviously when Hollywood gets a hold of things, in all the years I've been doing this, I've never seen ectoplasm. I've never seen green creatures flying around.
How about the PKE meter?
That's more like an electric magnetic field reader.
Oh, so you use that?
It doesn't look anything like that, but on the basis idea, this thing picks up an electric.
The purpose of
Have you ever been slimed, Tom?
No, never been slimed. I've been pushed, been shoved.
No.
Waved at, apparently.
Waved at.
Yeah.
Pushed, shoved, almost thrown out a window.
Wow.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I was doing a ghost hunt for the Sandown, raise money for the Sandown Meeting House, the old Sandown Meeting House.
Yeah.
And they got a crow's nest. You never knows the crow's nest.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
All right. So I'm up on the crow's nest trying to make contact with something in there. And it wasn't working. I'm preaching.
You're lucky you didn't get hit by lightning.
It's a 1770s meeting house. Okay. So I know the history of New England. So I know what happened in those. So I'm preaching up there what would happen and getting Zippo. But I was raised a Catholic, baptized at Holy Rosary Church. I'll always call it Holy Rosary. No disrespect to the new people.
I have a hard time. I call it the church too. It's always been the church.
So I went through CCD and all that stuff. So so I started preaching the Catherine doctrine up on the crow's nest in a Protestant building. I got shoved. Now, it wouldn't matter if there was a wall behind me, but there was a window behind me with about a 40-foot drop.
Good Lord.
I went into the window. Didn't break the window or anything, but went into the window like that.
Wow.
I'm like, okay, that's what I get for preaching the Catholic doctrine up here. Sorry.
So Ghostbusters is more, there was some accurate parts to it.
Correct. Like
Okay.
EMF, when they do the PKG and read the meter, and yes, you get spikes with the electric magnetic field readers. There's a K2 meter, there's Mel meters, there's a whole bunch of
Electric magnetic field definition would be
electric magnetic field is so inside everything around us is electrical, as we all know. So if I came in here with an EM, and I should have brought the equipment, I did. If I came in with an EMF,
maybe next time.
yeah. If you want me back again, if I came in here with a meter, it's going to spike because there's a lot of electrical things going on here.
Yep.
If we shut all the lights off in here and shut all the equipment
That
down,
would make an interesting podcast.
and well, you could do the podcast. And I came back in here with those same meters with no electricity running, and then you get something on the meter.
It actually registers.
It would, yeah. You see different. It has different numbers on it, or colors, or lights, depending on what meter you use. If you want me back next time, another time, I'll bring the equipment. You can see it, or we can meet for coffee one day or dinner. I'll bring the equipment.
All right. What other movies do you like? at
Okay,
Halloween
so I'm not now. I'll go deal with a demon in your house and sleep like a baby. Don't let me watch horror movies because I'll be up for 4 weeks after that. I
Now,
can't.
that
handle
is
it.
interesting.
Yeah. So
the real thing is fine, but
the
movie,
fate. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So about, I'm going to say 5-6 years ago. Might have been a little longer than that. Now, I had the year that Haunting in Connecticut came out. That same weekend,
Haunting in
Connecticut. I had Gavin Cromwell from the UK and John Zaffis doing a fundraiser at the Tenny Gatehouse. John Zaffis is the nephew of the famous Ed and Lorraine Warren. He was at that house. So his character in the movie got cancer. His friend calls him up and goes, "How come you never told me you had cancer?" He didn't know his character in the movie was going to have cancer until they ran the movie.
Oh, wow.
And he goes, "I've never been slime before," and all that other stuff that went on. He's never seen slime. And this guy worked with his aunt and uncle in a lot of dangerous cases. We actually had a poltergeist activity case right here in the Merrimack Valley. I wasn't around to investigate it, but it was always in the Eagle Tribune during Halloween.
Which?
Martin's Tree Farm. It's no longer there. It was on House Street. It's now a housing development.
Okay. What was the story?
Supposedly one day Mr. and Mrs. Martin was sitting there watching TV in I think it was 63, 64, and water started spouting out of the walls.
Oh, God.
Every 20 seconds for 2 hours, out of the walls, out of the couch, out of everything. They called the police in. The fire department came. No one could figure out what the problem was. They moved to his in-laws' house on Andover Street, which was 2 houses down from where my grandparents lived for a while and when my mother was up that way. And water spouts started there. Within 3 days, it magically all stopped and no one talked about it again. All through my early childhood, they would do a Halloween special at the Tribune up until the mid-90s. And that Martin Tree Farm was always in it. Was in the Tribune. It was in a book called The 50 States. They have 50 states of haunted locations. They're like one paragraph.
Yep.
So you get the Massachusetts Martin's Tree Farms in that one. And in another book called The Witch's Brew of New England. The article was called Water, Water Everywhere.
Wow.
Oh,
that sounds.
Nobody called the plumber?
Well, I guess they had everybody in there. The inspectors from Methuen building it couldn't figure where the water was coming from.
Yeah.
If they shut the water off to the house and the water was still coming through, I'd be impressed. All right. That would impress me.
I tried to get more reports on it, but no one ever took any reports of the case. Even though police and fire were there, according to the paper.
Seances.
Seances.
You get involved in that?
Well, let's see. Sometimes when we do fundraising at Hilldale, I'll do what is called an energy circle, which is similar to
what is it called?
An energy circle.
It's an energy circle.
Yeah, but
you hold hands.
We hold hands and we try to make contact with the spirits.
You do that with a full moon?
We're going to do that with no moon.
No more.
These spirits
Who do you
want to
wanna
come out and
contact,
talk,
Mike?
they will.
Who do you want to contact? We did a seance to connect to spirit. Who do you want to talk to? Besides
Somebody
Elvis.
that I always liked and somebody that I wish that I could have been closer to and maybe had a nice dinner or a supper would be Dean Martin.
I was going to say that. That's what I thought
Ooh,
you were going to say.
Yeah.
You were going to say Dean
Yeah,
Martin?
I thought you were going to say
Out of
Dino
everybody,
Brogetti.
you were going to think Dean Martin?
Dino Brogetti, not Dean Martin. Let's get it right. We're on the
All right. That's his real name. But that guy, for some reason, when
Yeah.
I'd go to see his shows, I could relate to him. I could relate to him better sometimes than like at an Elvis show. And I loved Elvis growing up. But Dean, to me, even now, I listen to his music at home
Yep.
on the CD. I just love it. I would like to have been able to.
Oh, you got a CD? I listened to him on record and vinyl.
You know something, Tom, that doesn't surprise me. Not in the least bit. It doesn't surprise me at all. Neither does it surprise Louis.
Oh, I also got 8 tracks I listened to too.
You still have some
That
8 tracks
surprises
left?
me. Yeah,
How
about
do you listen to
3,000.
them? What
of
do you
them.
have? You
With
have
an
an
8-track
8-track?
player. Yeah.
You know what really irks me?
What?
You buy a new car.
Yeah.
You have 300-400 CDs in your house. They took the CDs out of cars about 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, maybe. Why?
Oh, so you
could be subscribed to like Sirius Radio and pay $20-something a month to have it.
Sirius Radio.
And it wasn't because of the weight. I mean, how much weight is in a little CD? You know, a machine that you could play. To me, it bothers the living bejesus because I think they're tucking it to us. And I think they all got together and they were forcing people to subscribe to Sirius Radio, XM. To me, that bothers me. I love listening to my CDs. First thing I do, I live by myself. I put that CD on. Sometimes it's 6:15 in the morning. And I'll just listen to music and I'll be putzing around the house and cleaning up or making something to eat, you know, for later on. And I just love listening to the music. I really do.
We're going to get you on Spotify or Pandora.
What is it?
Spotify or Pandora, a nice service that'll feed you music that you like. And it learns what
Do
you
you
like.
have to
and-
pay for that too?
No, they're free elements. To
Well,
it.
if it's free, it's for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, I enjoy Sirius Radio, especially on long trips. I really do. I put that 50 station on. Man, I sit there. I just sing along. I'm having a hell of a time for myself. People would think I'm out of my
I
mind.
have Sirius. I only listen to 3 stations.
That's
out
my boy.
What, oh, good. I can't wait to hear this. What are they, Tom?
1980s, because after 1989, music died. Blend.
I say 83, but we'll go with that.
Okay,
Yeah.
Blend is another one I use.
GLEN?
No, Blend. BLEND.
Oh, Blend.
Yeah,
The Blend.
Yeah,
I have
Blend.
that. Yeah.
That's a good one. I listen to the 60s and the 70s.
Okay. So we're in the same.
Yeah.
How about country western?
I like some of the older stuff. Nah, anything. Some of the 90s was good. Some of the new stuff I don't like.
That's when I
at
get
all.
into it, the 90s. That's when I get into
That's
country
when I
music.
get in the country western. But I did like the old stuff. Jerry Reed's one of my favorites. I wonder why. Oh, wait a minute. I think I know why. He wrote this great song called Eastbound Down.
Smoking the
Well,
Bandit.
Smokey and the Bandit. That's right.
Yeah.
Which was what? The second largest grossest movie in 1978 to what?
No.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
And what did Smokey and the Bandit come up with besides 7 shows,
Yeah,
7
that-
movies, and a TV series? It spawned off your friend, Daisy Duke, and the Dukes of Hazzard.
Okay. Enough.
No, that's factual.
That
That's
movie
all
stands
factual.
up, by the way.
So you get into it. You get into it a lot.
That movie stands up, by the way. You can still watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Smoking the Bandit.
Yeah.
The original one.
Stands up.
Yeah.
Sally Field. I mean, perfect. Do you ever take your hat off?
Mikey's quoting the movie now.
Yeah.
I love that. I love
listen to
that.
Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio, please.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Add that to
Roger
your list.
Trudell. Roger saying, good morning, gentlemen. It's a great day to be alive. I agree with you there, Roger. He's still working outside and is taking it apart.
Yeah.
He's getting rid of everything, composting everything. He's going to have his knee surgery done in about 10 days.
Yep.
So
Good luck.
we
to
wish
that.
him, yeah.
And a speedy recovery.
Now, Nancy wrote in and she said, do you subscribe to it?
I'm not
That's
sure what she's
probably
asking.
serious.
Oh, 50s and 60s for me. That's what she said.
Yeah.
So she's on
Today's music
XM.
sucks.
Me too. I'm with you, Nancy. I love
I
that
didn't
50
expect that from
station
Nancy, but yeah.
and 60. And she doesn't care too much for today's music. And, you know, the one thing, at least the lyrics in the 50s music was somewhat off the charts. And I don't know how somebody in a normal mind could write some of the songs, like My Friend the Witch Doctor.
Yeah.
How do you sit with a level mind and write lyrics to something like that? But some of the music and most of the music, I mean, it was dance to music. You got close to your significant other, and that was good. You know, you wore your patent leather shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when you went to the dances with suit and ties.
No, that went over your head a little bit. Patent leather shoes, you know, because they reflect.
I know what patent leather shoes. That didn't go over my head.
All right. I thought
added to it.
I thought it did. I don't want you to send anybody to give me a hard time.
No, I
I want to stay a good friend. Tommy, we're up against
Yeah, I know.
we're up.
We got luck. Yeah, we are.
Are you done?
No, I'm never
No.
done. Next, what's your next question?
Let's take a break. We'll be right back with Tom. All right.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is Tom Spitalere. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Sisters and co-owners Antoinetta and Elisa brought their family authentic Italian recipes from Molise, Italy, and a warm and welcoming dining experience to its customers at Ristorante Molise. The combination of their meals made from natural, homemade, fresh ingredients, and your time with family and friends together at dinner time is unmatched. Located in Market Square in the heart of Amesbury, they're open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday from 3 to 9 p.m. and are available for private parties during off hours. For reservations, call them at 978-388-4844. That's 978-388-4844. Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas, with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy,
And Mike Kunstler.
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
he is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops seared to perfection,
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
and buttery tender lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
You know, Tom, I grew up in South Lawrence over by the stadium. I lived on Exeter Street. And when they put in the veterans housing projects, there was like 525 units went up with, and you could, there'd be like 5 or 6 units in a block. So going out for trick or treat, I mean, you could get, you know, the old Demoulas paper bags, and you'd go out and you could fill up a paper bag of candy like in 30 minutes, really, because there was no stairs.
Right.
You know, you just go from one to the other, and it was fun, but I didn't get into Halloween. I mean, I like putting on a costume in my mind was like silly, you know. And I'm looking with Andy Parisi. He's another one that his mom made him a skeleton costume, and Nancy said the same thing. I just did not. And maybe I wasn't a kid. I don't know. Louis, were you into Halloween?
A little bit, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and then when I got older, when we were driving, it was scavenger hunt on Halloween. And we'd come up with dates or names that we had to find in cemeteries.
Oh, okay.
Like a
right.
cemetery,
you know,
scratching them, so you get in a cemetery at midnight on Halloween.
I got my license in 1961, and you know, back then there was a phrase: you'd go parking with your significant other, and
watch the submarine races.
The submarine races were all in the Merrimack on the Lower Boulevard. We used to go to the sand pits in South Lawrence, and it would be almost all the guys on the football team who had a car. There'd be 10 or 12 cars there, and it'd be all the guys that I played ball with. And you know, you'd be listening to Woo Woo Ginsburg or something like that, and you'd kill your battery. Everybody had cables. You jump the car. But there was like things that used to happen like around Halloween. There was rumors that some guy broke out of Denver State Hospital and he only had one hand and he had a hook for a hand. And, you know, one couple went to drive off, and when they got home, they found the hook hanging on their door. You know, I mean, it was crazy stuff like that. And the other thing was that people were putting razor blades in apples.
Yeah.
And I mean, if anybody gave me an apple, I left it. You know, that was healthy, too healthy. Hershey bars we kept. Apples, no.
Yeah.
But either that or they were poison. And every once in a great while, you'd hear about some nut poisoning candy and
Yeah.
whatnot. But it's just the things that I think about that I can relate to at Halloween. I mean, kids knock at my door, I give them a Hershey bar, and I comment on their costumes, this, that. But there's a lot of kids that are not from our neighborhood because we're in a very small area, and they drop them off, and mothers and fathers wait for them at the corner, and that kind of frosts my butt up. They should have Halloween. Another thing about Wyndham, why 3 hours for Halloween? Why 3 hours?
They're all 3
5
hours.
to 8.
Oh.
It should be 2 hours.
Yeah, most of 2
Give
hours,
people a chance to eat. Go 6 to 8. Why? This 5. They're the only ones in freaking southern New Hampshire that do that. Go 3 hours. 3 hours is too long. You don't see anybody
They
that
want to get them out in the daylight if they can, or at least it's not pitch black.
Well, I mean, I think we'll start later. Go 6 to 8, but keep it 2 hours, not 3. I think 3 is overkill. I do.
Well, the other thing that's the killer for Halloween, and this is something that I've been opposed to for years.
I can't wait to hear this.
So when we were kids, we went trick-or-treating when? Oh, on Halloween.
That's right.
Now you have one city that does it this Saturday night.
I'm with you.
Then the next then Halloween week, so you know what's happening? The kids from this city are going to do their city. Then they're coming into your city or town.
Yeah,
I know.
And trick-or-treating now has become a major expense for people. That's why it's $1 billion a day industry. It's no longer buy 3-4 bags of candy and you get through the night. It's buy 12 bags of candy.
You know what the estimated costs for candy this year in 24 is? $4 billion, Louis.
Wow.
$4 billion for candy.
We could save a lot. We could feed a lot of homeless people with that one.
Oh, you could stay away from a lot of cavities with that one too. I mean, Jesus, just don't get them. But $4 billion, I find that very, very hard to believe. Hey, listen, this month has been very, very busy for you. How many projects do you? Paranormals of you?
31, 32 projects by the time I'm done.
31, 32.
Projects,
wow.
Yeah. 150 for the year if I don't pick anything else.
You've done 150
No,
investigations? Not yet, but you will.
149. I imagine I'll hit 150. It's not just investigations. It's been radio shows, TV shows, fundraising.
When is your show on? For those people that are falling in love with you and your personality.
I don't have a personality. You do.
Oh, shucks. When's your show on, Alcat?
Okay, so my show's on the last Monday of every month is the TV show. But you can catch that on Lawrence Community Access TV's YouTube page, like everybody else has got YouTube. I have a paranormal podcast. Can I put that out there today?
Sure.
It's on every Thursday night. And
Where
it's gonna
is
be on
that on?
That'll be also on our YouTube page, Lawrence Community Access TV's YouTube page.
Okay, so all of these are available
Yeah,
on demand?
On demand, yes. Mm-hmm. On our YouTube page. And the paranormal show is a little different. We just we do investigate. We do talk to people with paranormal investigators, Wiccans, but we also had the guy who solved the Jack the Ripper case. We got him coming back next month.
What's his name?
Edward Russell Edwards. Yeah,
he's the one that solved the case?
Yeah, he's in England. He just wrote a new book on it. You can check his new book out. He didn't tell us the first time we were on because he was getting for the book to come out because he didn't want to tell us the ending of the book because what would happen to the book? It wouldn't. So
okay,
so he's coming back on.
So what do you stream them from there? Okay,
so
that's good. How long is your show?
1 hour.
1 hour.
He would
be a good guest here on the Sicilian Corner.
TV shows 1 hour, except for Halloween.
Oh,
Halloween, I'm doing a 2-hour special from 6 to 8, and that will be seen on our YouTube page. I'm waiting on confirmation. I'll send you a text message. It'll be too late, but it may be shown. It's going to be shown on Bill Ricker Public Access TV Live, and it may be shown on Methuen. I'm not sure yet. And Haverhill.
Where do pumpkins enter into the celebration of Halloween?
You know, I can't remember everything, but I figured you'd ask.
Do I have you stymied? I like it.
You do.
I like it.
But pumpkins, pumpkin.
I mean, it must have started somewhere. A lot of things came
seasonal-
from Ireland
It's a
dealing
seasonal
with
thing. So,
Halloween.
yeah.
So it could have been. My understanding, if I remember correctly, there was a guy named Jack, and Jack was drunk and he was no good and mean as could be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go.
And when he passed away,
So he was an Irish guy.
I don't know if he was Irish. Don't get me in trouble, will you?
I'm
Anyway,
Irish, I can
when
say
he
that.
passed away, heaven would not accept him.
Yeah.
And hell would not accept.
So the jack-o'-lantern came from Irish Christian.
No, just
folklore.
interrupt me. Why don't
Sorry.
you? Go ahead. Go ahead. That's good. Go ahead.
Sorry about that.
Go ahead.
So the jack-o'-lantern came from the geezers on All Hallows Eve in order to frighten away evil spirits.
Ooh.
So it's an Irish Christian folk tale.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. I
So
got
finish
something
your
right
story
for
about
I
Jack.
got something right for a
Yeah.
change. Lately, oh my gosh.
Finish
It's
your
awful.
story about Jack.
Jack. So Jack could not get into heaven, could not get into hell. And it was like purgatory. Okay. And he was given a pumpkin that he hollowed out, and he was given a lump of coal that he lit. And to this day, he wanders the earth looking for a place that he could call home.
With his jack-o'-lantern.
And that's just
Yeah.
jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
That's where
You nailed it. You hit the nail right on the head.
Is
on
that
that
true?
one. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So hey, once in a, I can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning, but I remember stuff that I read a zillion years ago. Jack-o'-lantern.
Do you
How the
carve
hell-
pumpkins? Would you
Huh?
carve a pumpkin?
Never. I used to smash them.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the blast. You know, throwing
Smashing
'em.
pumpkins. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was always fun
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah. So, needless to say, Tom,
Since you should
you're
do
one of the
next
most.
year, like next year, you should go for like the Top Seal Fair and a big pumpkin. You should grow a giant pumpkin in your backyard.
And enter it in the field.
You see some of the things that they grow at these country 2,400-pound
I
pumpkin.
know.
The work that has to go into something like that. I mean, I can't even imagine. You know, and you're about 2 or 3 days before they're going to weigh it, and you're handling it with kid gloves, and the thing starts to rot on you, or you're going to put it up on a platform and it falls apart. I can't. That's heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking. You know, Roger smarts in the garden. He should grow a couple of those jumbo
Yeah.
jumbo
Go for it.
pumpkins. You know, what else you got going on?
Not much at all. I mean,
Not much at all.
no.
I don't know how you sleep. Are most spirits youngsters,
No,
children?
we have from old to real young.
What are you
to
looking at me
babies.
for?
I'm just looking around.
Uh,
Spirits can be in any age, shape, or form. I've dealt with little kids to old adults to Native American spirits.
What about animals?
Animals too. Animal spirits do come around. A lot of homes are full of animal spirits.
Yeah.
And cats and dogs are great at seeing spirits. So if you got a dog or a cat in your house and it goes over to the corner of the room and goes meow meow or roof roof roof, and it's barking at the ceiling, most likely the cat or the dog is seeing something.
wow. Have you ever been scared?
That push was a little scary, I'll be honest with you.
And that was up against a glass window.
Yeah.
Oh,
But other than that, the humans inside cemeteries at night scare me more
Yeah.
than the ghosts do.
Can imagine.
no. I can't eat. No. I don't know. I don't know why I don't get into it. I wish I did, but I never, not even as a kid, youngster. I think once, I think it was probably 1956, 57. I chalked in some sideburns. That was as far as I went
Oh, you
to
went
be Elvis. Yeah. Yeah. That was it. And we used to have Beggars Night. Do they still have Beggars Night?
Wait a second. Does Encore have a costume night on Halloween? I know at the Brook we do. We have a costume contest. You go to Encore
You know
and
something
dress up.
that's a good question. My guess is
They
I would think
probably do.
they would.
Yeah.
I would think they would.
I mean, everybody has them. That's how you attract adults to, you know, to spend money.
Speaking of the Encore, where you brought it up, last weekend, Barbara and I were at the Encore, and we tried the new Sea Mark seafood restaurant. outstanding.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell that to our listeners. The room is beautiful, very well appointed. It's light, got a lot of arches. The food presentation, honestly, I should have taken some pictures. Just beautiful, just beautiful. I had Jimmy's chopped salad. I hated to see it end.
Nice.
I hated to see it end. And I had swordfish, and both. What a meal! What a meal!
He's saying that after he paid for it too. He actually paid for that meal. That wasn't comped.
You know, you insinuated it was a mooch meal. It
No,
wasn't.
I didn't.
You know, when I first walked in, that's what you said to
I
me.
didn't insinuate nothing. I just asked.
No, I paid for it, and you know, it's not cheap.
Yep.
Like anything else, it's up there, but it's a nice. It contrasts from, say, Rare, their steakhouse.
Yeah.
And now you got the seafood. It was lacking for years. It was lacking for years. And I'm glad they decided to go in that direction. Tom, we're almost out of time, man. I want to thank you. And
No
I mean it.
problem.
I
Thank
can hear
you.
Can you hear the helicopter?
It's
Yeah.
coming to get him. He's got more work to do.
So where are you off to now?
Where am I off to now? I think I'm going to go off to get a cup of heaven, and then I'll land there, and then I got to look at the rest of the day's schedule because I can't remember where I'm at today.
All right. Hey, listen, everybody, we really appreciate you joining us today. And Tom, you're a breath of fresh air, man. You say it's just the way it is, and just keep fighting the battle.
We always do. I enjoy what I do.
I can
Essex
tell.
County enjoys.
How many
what they
people
do.
can say that, Lou? Enjoy what you do.
Not
I
me.
say this to everybody. We'll leave this off I know you like to shut down. It doesn't matter if you make 6 figures a year or 3 figures a year. If you enjoy what you do, you do it. Till you stop enjoying it, then you just walk away. That's how I've always lived my life.
Hey, we'll be next week. We'll be with Esther. We'll be doing our show from Sicily, and
Nice.
I'm looking forward to that. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy this weather, everybody. Get outside. You know, walk a little bit. Get some exercise. This is New England at its best. Thank you very much. Take care.